Get it all out. Hey Ruben.
Hi Darius, how you doing, mate?
I'm doing wonderfully, how about you?
Good, yeah. It's been a long journey down here this morning, but I'm back again and then back again today, so...
My goodness.
But it's all worth it.
Busy bee?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what we like. Better busy than bored, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay, that's good. So I just wanted to ask you a few quick questions whilst we have the pleasure of your company, if that's alright with you.
Yeah.
So my understanding is that you've been involved in the health and wellness industry for quite some time now. Could you tell us a bit about that?
Yeah, I've been in it for around about 30 years altogether now. For 15 of those years I run a group of cancer treatment centres under a banner called the Integrated Healthcare Trust, which we established a long time ago now.
Okay.
And that was helping people with terminal cancer that had already had chemotherapy, radiotherapy, surgery, and there was no hope for them.
Wow.
So they would come to us and they would have a food-based protocol treatment, which was hugely successful, which was established originally in 1964 in a hospital in Tijuana with a very great oncologist. And we copied those protocols here in the UK and ran it very successfully for a long period of time.
Wow.
And what was important for us was understanding the 5 principles of life that we worked on, which was about food, water, exercise and mental attitude. And following those 5 keys really had great successes. But that was one sector, and the other part of what I was involved in was that we searched out particular companies that produced high quality nutrition to support those people and to support the diets, because a lot of people that are in that state of health need huge amounts of support. So that led me into establishing 3 companies, 3 networks, which I built for over the whole 30-year period,
right.
To very successful levels, and really enjoyed it. It was actually a great relief to be in that industry, this networking industry, as a complete contrast to being in the cancer business, for want of a better description.
Right.
So it's been quite a broad experience over that period of time.
Yeah, okay, so that's what attracted you then to the Isagenix product and opportunity.
Well, what really attracted me to Isagenix, is that it had to tick a lot of boxes for me, Darius. I'm really keen on understanding the quality of something and what's behind it. So I was very fortunate to be able to go out to Phoenix, to the company, and sit and pick apart those products and talk to the research scientists, look at the evidence and the independent studies that are there, which was really quite remarkable, something I've never seen in 30 years.
Wow, right.
So being able to see that quality was remarkable. Then the owners of this company, I first actually came into contact with Jim Coover in 1984,
right.
And it was quite staggering for me to walk into a boardroom and round the corner walks this man that I haven't seen for 30 years.
Yeah.
So he was at the beginning of my career and at the end of my career too. And I say the end of my career because Isagenix for me is it is about as good as you could possibly get. And I think that having overviewed it and looked at the systems that they've created, as Jenny's talked about, but also systems in terms of business, because this industry is awash with organisations that give people dreams and hopes, but very few of them ever achieve it.
Right.
And that's because a lot of the systems they produce in terms of the way they pay people are so difficult and challenging for individuals to achieve that they can never achieve it.
Right.
So looking at this business and looking at this company and the way it rewards its distributors, for me was a very key issue, because I can't stand in front of a group of people and say, put your life and soul into this, knowing that you're not going to get there. And so that was one of the reasons that took me away from the industry. So looking at Isagenix's compensation systems, I was absolutely flabbergasted. Not only was it achievable, but it was achievable for everybody. And anybody that eats can be successful in Isagenix. So it ticked every box for me, Darius, and I'm pleased to say that having the opportunity that we all have here in Europe now with this company is going to see probably one of the biggest historical changes in the health and wellness industry that I've ever seen in these 30 years.
Really?
And latterly for me, really, this whole thing is about giving people opportunities to change and transform their lives. And that's what Isagenix does. And what I love more than anything is it's just food.
Yeah.
It's just food. And going back to that principle of food, water, exercise and mental attitude, food is a major key issue. We live in a nutritionally bankrupt society on a pandemic scale.
Wow.
People are actually eating foods that just do not contain the raw ingredients that the human body needs in order to sustain natural life and sustain cell replication and everything else that goes on.
Yeah.
And that's because the agricultural policies globally have changed because of the way we're shopping today. And we're buying in large stores that have a huge control over the agricultural industry as to what they produce, how they produce it. And so you can go into the stores these days and pick up an apple and smell it. There's no smell. You know, they even use fragrances these days to try and kid you into thinking that it is what it is.
Really?
Because if you pick a food that's been ripened properly from your garden, for instance, take a plum, you know, it's juicy and sweet and it's full of great nutrients, and your body really feels that when you take it. You don't buy something from the store, you know, a plum of the same source, you know, it's, let's say it's the same Victoria plum, but it hasn't come from your garden.
Okay.
Now you can put that in a bowl and it will never ripen. You can play cricket with it, it's that hard.
Wow.
But it will go from being solid to rotten.
Right.
There is no ripening process. Because when food is going through its natural growth process, it is the last hours of its ripening that actually really does change the chemical compounds within that food. That is the vital substances that the human body needs.
Right.
So you know this old adage of an apple a day keeps the doctor away?
Yeah.
There's a lot of value in that, you know, because the pips inside the apple are the most valuable part of it.
Right.
But people don't know where to get food these days that's going to give them the nutrients that they need. You know, we need 300 individual elements in our body a day to sustain it properly. Most people would not know where to go, what to get, how to do that. So what's the solution to that? That's where Isagenix steps into the forefront, and it brings to us high quality superfoods that really feed and sustain the body and make us operate and work in the way our bodies are designed to do. We're not designed to be ill, but the illnesses that we see today, you know, Britain is an illustration of the rest of the world really. 68% of the British population are either diabetic or pre-diabetic.
Wow.
And that's food related. That's a staggering statistic.
Yeah, yeah.
And we look at all the disease issues that we're facing today, it's just dramatic, you know. And I am an absolute advocate that we have a responsibility to ourselves of taking care of the things we can take care of: food, air, water, exercise, and what we think about and how we do that.
Right.
So Isagenix is the last port of call for me, because I know that this will be historical making, but also it is going to be a future, a legacy company that will be here for the next 50, 60, 70, 100 years. And that's great, because I know where my son's going to go and create his future 20 years from now.
Right. Fantastic. Thank you so very much, Raven.
You're very welcome, Darius.
We'll see you again soon, guys.